Now, without further ado, the second game is already underway, so I'm going to quickly send over to the caster stage, to our beautiful, sexy, talented casters, Max and D2.
I gotta say, Dave, I agree with everything you said until you said sexy caster. I'm sorry, but that is not true. That is a straight up lie. But I still appreciate the intention all around. But anyways, we're gonna be jumping in our draft for game number 2. In case you guys did arrive a little bit late, game 1 was taken indeed by Liyab Esports, pretty dominantly at that. Also, as Liyab, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Going potentially back with a Kai'Sa Lulu composition, which was so dominant on game 1. I would just feel like they might just be able to take the series 2-0 here if they dominate once again so heavily.
Yeah, but it seems like Sengoku might be going for more standard comp this time instead of going for the troll / experimental comp. We'll call it experimental, right? It was just, let's see how it works.
Yeah. For the memes, for the memes, it's cool. You can try it out. But Aurelion Sol also again picked up in mid lane. So like the main thing of why I would think they want to pick that is also paired up with a Lee Sin. Just got really good ganking potential. They want to use this Aurelion Sol as a really good way to roam around the map. Like he is known as one of the best roaming mid laners, and like since they did nerf Evelynn and she can't be played mid anymore. But now Aurelion Sol in the mid lane can just roam really easily and assist also that Lee Sin on those ganks, which I think those two characters together can have so much early game pressure that is not even funny.
Didn't they nerf Aurelion Sol in the same patch they nerfed Evelynn, or is that one?
They did nerf him a little bit, but he's still more reliable than Evelynn in mid lane. He's still a lot better there.
Yeah, it is very sad though to see him trying to use his third ability to go across the map because he's much slower than before. I cast a match after that, just right after that nerf went, and it was just funny because there was an Aurelion Sol that just missed a gank, and I was like, if he had the movement speed, he would have been able to get stuff. It was definitely a feels bad man moment.
Yeah, just a little bit of extra move speed points would sometimes make the difference. But here we go. The drafts are now going to be set in motion. Liyab got himself also the Vi coming into action in this one for the jungle position, which, you know, Vi, very single target focused. So, of course, the main focus for that Vi will be mainly going down onto the Misfortune, also going down onto the, hopefully, the Aurelion Sol on the other side. That's going to be the main focus for that character at the end. But I like these drafts. I think that overall they're a lot better than what we saw in the first game, especially for Sengoku Gaming. And I'm intrigued to see, actually, D2, which draft would you potentially give the edge to in the second game?
I'm not totally sure because we haven't seen a whole lot of success here from the Aurelion Sol, but I've never seen Hawk go on him. I think I saw one time he played it in one of his YouTube videos a while back, but honestly, I'm having a hard time kind of discerning who's the winner of this draft. I'll just default to Sengoku because I'm a fanboy of the when they were playing the other mobile game I was from. One thing to mention here is that Vi was actually banned last game, and we were wondering what that was all about. And the instant she's available gets snapped up by Liyab, so that's something to keep in mind here.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, actually. Maybe they've just been a nice respect ban overall, and now that Vi has been unleashed, I'm intrigued to see. I'm hyped up for this. You know, there's definitely living up to the expectation. That is what I'm hoping to see. As going to be having Gambit just going for his nice little farming phase. He's going to be solo also versus Malphite in this lane matchup, which unfortunately, early game, you are expecting the Malphite to have just so much dominant poking, especially because of that minion wave where it's going to be making it really hard for Gambit to dash out his true potential. So I'm expecting to have a nice little even matchup in that early game stage, but mainly top lane, like we have Garen Lulu. Like, are they going to have a little switch like midway? I'm intrigued.
This is like a partial switch, okay? So we have Curse, who is on the Baron laner. He actually switched with the dual lane. So we're looking at the dragon lane here. So Malphite's in the dragon lane, and they switched to have the Misfortune and their support over in the Baron lane. And then in order to match that, they had just the support Lulu move over. So Lulu is eventually going to have to meet up here with Kai'Sa in the bottom lane. So it's like a full switch here from Sengoku, and Liyab to match it, they just sent the support over in the Baron lane there.
Overall, I'm intrigued to see how they're going to be trying to respond against this and hopefully do their switch once again later on into the game. I'm looking at this too. The first Drake is going to be an Earth Drake. So it's going to be mainly focused around tankiness, which would be a great thing, especially for the example of this Malphite. Also good for the Vi in general. So I think that this is definitely going to be a Drake that's going to be heavily contested in that early game stage, just to allow them to tank up a little bit more of that damage overall. Mid lane also, like, we got another Orianna in the game. And you know what? Orianna paired up with a Kai'Sa, paired up with a Lulu. Like, I'm just thinking that their composition is going to be very one-tap heavy. Like, they got a one-wombo combo they're going to try and pull off. If they pull it off, it's almost impossible for the side of Sengoku to like extract himself away from that one. But I want to see how that late game stage is going to be looking out to be, as now they're going to be shoving that mid lane once again, and that's going to allow Orion Sol now to roam around the map and try and be of assistance. But unfortunately, no side lanes currently are available for ganking.
Yeah, in general, as far as an overall game style here or play style, Sengoku really likes to just play conservative and take their advantage when they can. Looks like we have a bit of a gank here, and let's see how this turns out.
Yes, slow of the MF2 and ultimate to come on through. Pulverize comes out, and is indeed the ultimate does what it's supposed to do, which is pulverize the composition. That's going to be one easy pickup for them all around. And the turret might pick up one or two, or even potentially the entire tower, but that's going to be some extra plate gold coming their way, which is definitely going to make matters easier for them. But top lane, we've got a big fight happening. Also, as I said, Orion Sol going to try and roam around, but Brawl way too far away from that fight entirely to join it. As here we go, a galaxy of stuns comes on through, picks up a kill onto the Vi. As now it's time for them to disengage, but unfortunately Braum can't take the Orianna head on and will have to retreat. But still, that's one kill pickup, worth it in the long run.
Yeah, really well done here by Hawk, rotating over. He saw that his team was getting pushed in onto their turret. He's like, okay, I'm coming. Gonna help you guys out, and made sure that happened. And this is what I really like about Sengoku, though. They're just, they know when to get aggressive, even though they're most likely going to be conservative, right? But they're really good at kind of predicting the rotation patterns of their opponent. So Liyab goes for aggression, and Sengoku's already there matching them, which is obvious. This is why they were able to kind of halt their aggression there from Liyab.
Yeah. I'm also seeing in the Trovo chat, by the way. Definitely want to go join that one up at trovo.live/AssassinDave. I saw some people asking who won game one. It was actually Liyab that won it. Also because, yeah, Mania a little bit of a maybe experimental, as you called it earlier, D2, experimental composition coming on through from the other side of Sengoku, but now they're taking this one a lot more seriously, as we're going to have Drake going to be contested early on. The fight will have to break out because of it. Braum's going to be on the front line trying to soak up some damage. Unfortunately, he's already down to mid HP or just about, but they are zoning away from the Drake, and that's going to be an easy pickup for the Lee Sin to smite it down. Drake number one over to Sengoku.
Yeah, Sengoku does this all the time. They just kind of let the other team start the Drake, and then they just waltz right in, and then the other team, it's hard to get good positioning when you're trying to juggle the Drake and the fight, and Sengoku just kind of, with their aura, they just kind of nudge them away, like, you guys can just get out.
Get out of here.
Skedaddle. Everyone's going to pick this up. So very well done by them. And Liyab just giving them a lot of respect, honestly. I think I was expecting Liyab to kind of play a little more aggressive, a little more risky, because I feel like Sengoku's just rock solid, right? They're always going to be like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. And you got to play better than that, or, catch them off guard a little bit. And Liyab is, thus far this game, playing pretty conservatively, I would say.
Yeah, I think that Liyab overall has been trying their very best on this one, but especially Sengoku, the reason why they were able to push away from that Dragon Pit is because they're on the mirrored side of the map, which makes it a lot easier for them to get access to the Dragon Pit through the riverside and actually push them away. If it was on the other side, that should have been a Drake potentially coming in the way of Liyab. It's going to have Aurelion Sol picking it up. Nice stun coming on through onto the, onto the Orianna. Unfortunately, the ultimate also comes on through from Braum, but the kill will not get picked up just yet. They're trying to go full dive. Malphite tries to get on top of it, and it does get actually picked up, surprisingly enough, as now Garen regrets every single decision he's made in life so far. Going to try and make it out of that one. The stun might come on through. They don't even need it, and that's going to be 2 frags coming the way of Sengoku.
Max, you ever have that feeling when you're like, why am I here? you're just walking through. So this was a really interesting fight, right? They got the Orianna extremely low. The Vi comes to try to save, but really nicely done by the Digital, kind of preemptively using the ult. And then Garrett's like, wait, why did I go this way? What am I doing? And he gets picked up as well, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, and especially mid lane turret, once again, is the most valuable turret you could potentially take in the entire game. Now liberates so much room for them to get access to the enemy jungle, blue and red buff, so they can just keep that pressure down. As Aurelion Sol, you just can't dodge that. That's too big. Come on, what's that all about? As now, Braun going to try and tank it, potentially allow a stun for his teammates. Unfortunately, the stun will be not rendered all that useful in that engagement all around. But now they still got a 4-man team in that top lane, as Malphite is just going to be trying to stop that push from Garen happening in bot. And that's going to be another turret once again. That control in terms of objectives coming out from Sengoku is so damn good. I just can't see them fall behind unless a big mistake happens. But here, they're even going for jungle camps also. They want to make sure they're getting the most out of those fights as possible to make sure they don't allow Liyab to come back into the game in any way, shape, or form.
I just love how Sengoku is controlling the map with the use of Hawk on that Aurelian Soul, always present on the map. And obviously, we're on the perspective of Dejuo here on the Brum, and he's making sure to roam as well. You know, not sticking to the misfortune every single time, just making sure to just try to join every skirmish around the map and try to pick up kills here and there. And it's working out great for them. And you know, you saw Liyab, their objective was to try to go ahead and take out the misfortune while she was by herself. But really nice play, getting behind the turret, waiting for the Aurelian Soul and everyone else to rotate over, and they get yet another good fight.
Yeah, good fights all around indeed for them so far, D2. But I'm enjoying how this game has been happening so far. It's a pretty standard game, 5-0 also, which is not an insane amount when it comes down to it. But I'm sure that if you look at the gold, I'm sure the gold is pretty high up there when it comes down to it for the side of Sengoku Gaming. So as long as they just do not give up any big fights, they should be good to go. As now they're slowly going to make their way towards the Baron pit down in that bot lane position, making their way slowly but surely. We're going to have also an Ocean Drake on the map in the next 15 seconds. So whoever wins this fight, not only will get frags, potential bounties if it's won away by the side of Liyab, but also an easy Drake coming their way. That last Drake, let's not forget, with Earth Drake, and that was actually secured by the side of Sengoku Gaming. So 2 Drakes will definitely give them a nice significant lead in that early game to mid-game lead. And let's see if they can try and hold it for themselves. As so far, they just got a nice little spread, making sure that they do not get punctured in any position. As Garen in his top lane position, trying to defend it. As Malphite just going to shove the lane once again.
Yeah, just looking at the situation, obviously we have the 5-0 advantage in kills, but also Sengoku have taken the dragon, they've taken more turrets, so they're almost assuredly ahead pretty far in gold here. You know, there's ways to come back in gold, not just through kills, but it just feels like Sengoku's really ahead in every facet of the game, and as they take, you know, one more Ocean Dragon here. So that's why we believe that despite it only being a 5-kill lead, Sengoku has a firm grip on this game.
Yeah, I mean, Sengoku, I do not think they're going to be falling behind anytime. Now we're on the POV of Liyab, which I think is great to see a little bit how they can do on the POV of the team that's currently falling behind pretty heavily at that. So far, Gambit, he's in a pretty decent spot too. He's hit he's almost hitting, I believe, his 2-item power spike. Didn't have time to really see his build, but I think he's almost there. Oh, he's actually already hit his 2-item power spike. So that's definitely the moment where you want to see a Kai'Sa potentially try and step up to the occasion and start fragging out in big ways. But they need to try and catch up, especially characters out of position, because you saw it earlier here, D2. We saw the fact that Sengoku, sometimes they're pretty spread away from each other. I want to see Liyab capitalize on these opportunities to allow themselves to come back, because here, for example, top lane is spread. They can easily rotate up there and find a kill in a 1v4, but they're just not going to focus that position whatsoever and mainly focus on remaining as a full squad.
Yeah, exactly. Liyab needs to take every single opportunity that comes to them. Obviously, you can see in your screen there that Malphite is split pushing, so perhaps they can go for a fight here. Looks like they're going to go ahead and back off. And you mentioned earlier, we're on the perspective of the Kai'Sa here, Gambit playing this Kai'Sa from the side of Liyab, and Kai'Sa is going to be the main champion who's going to engineer a comeback if there is any here for Liyab, right? It's going to be the Lulu getting the wild growth on Kai'Sa, and Kai'Sa absolutely popping off. That's their best chance, I would say, for Liyab to get back in this game and get not necessarily a miracle team fight, but of you know, an underdog win of a team fight.
I mean, if they win the next team fight, I'm going to call it a miracle team fight. That's for sure. I think that's definitely the name we're going to be going for. The next Drake that's going to be spawning in a few minutes is going to be the Fire Drake. So that's going to be great, especially for the Kai'Sa if they can secure it. But unfortunately, their luck when it comes down to Drakes has not been all that good so far. As Lee Sin just memeing around in that red position, going to try and take it for themselves. But Baron is on the menu. Misfortune. Brawl going to come around. Not going to do too much. Potentially putting down some information, some scouting to make sure that no one is going to try and take a sneaky Baron all around. But bot lane is going to be having Garen and also Malphite taking a little bit of a back and forth fight all around. But here might be an opportunity for them to take the engagement as a 4v4 towards the Baron pit.
Yeah, exactly. There's 2 actually in the opposite lane here. We're switching over to Sengoku, but you see there's 4... excuse me, there's actually 4 here for Sengoku. I thought there was 2 over in the top lane. Perhaps there was a teleport over. Perhaps I missed it wrong. Looks like an engage coming up, though.
And Malphite going to be going for a nice engage. Unfortunately, not on the best of targets. That's not going to be working out too good. It's now turned into a 5v5 as they're going to try and hold it under tower. Pulverize coming on through from the Misfortune. Unfortunately, non-ultimate known for his damage, mainly as just zoning. But now they pick some really good damage, putting so much damn pressure on the side of Liyab. This would be a great call for Baron. And as I say that, they're indeed going to go for the Baron because they can't afford to take it. And also, Garen is in that Drake lane position in top. They just can't contest it 5v4. And they're just like, that's an easy Baron for us. We can't lose it. Braum making sure sure they don't get close and can't steal it. That's the Baron picked up for them as a 5-man squad. Now they have to push these lanes, these second lane turrets in every single position, especially mid. If they can pick that one up, that's going to liberate even more room for them. They are in such a good spot right here, D2.
It's so funny how one little piece of information can trigger something, right? You mentioned the Garen in the opposite side of the lane. Yeah, they're probably going to be poking at the Baron, but it's possible that they could have, been half zoning out other members, trying to see where they are, kind of scouting, right? But once they saw the Garen, like, oh, okay, we're going in. The only person who's going to zone out is the Dejuel on the Brawl, and everyone's full in on the Baron. They take it nice and easy. Just little pockets of information like that. People at home, you gotta pay attention, right? If you show yourselves on the map at any point, the other team could immediately take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's vision control. You got to make sure that the moment you're visioned out by minions or a ward or like anything that is going to be of enemy, basically what is an enemy, will give information over to the other side. So you've got to be very cautious about that. And unfortunately, that Garen, I do think also did a mistake. Like the moment that you knew they were low and Baron was up, you should have known that if I move away, they're going to get that information and they're going to go for the global objective, which they did end up doing. And now on top of that, they even get a Drake, which is such good play coming out from Sengoku. Their objective control is absolutely top notch. As unfortunately, it's not top notch, is that bot lane position where unfortunately they're going to be losing one of their teammates. As Clemen is just taken over.
It might be
That's going to be the Malphite taken down. But now they're getting turrets. Like they got a top lane turret. They got also a mid lane turret potentially. They're going to be also catching out of position. This player is going to be the Orianna, I believe. And she's going to be able to survive the encounter a little bit longer. That's fine. But she did have to pop the overgrowth, which is unfortunately an ultimate that you mentioned earlier, D2. You want to mainly keep up for this Kai'Sa.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the second over a wild growth. I think is it wild growth or overgrowth? Anyway, Lulu's ultimate.
You know what? I'm gonna believe every word you say. Okay.
Okay, I think it's wild growth. I might be wrong. But the Lulu. So the wild growth goes onto the Orianna there. Previously, it went onto the Vi in the failed team fight that led to the Baron. So second time in a row that that ultimate's basically been ineffective. And they're like I've said, like you kind of agree with, they need to have a good fight and have that go on the Kai'Sa and Kai'Sa to pop off. And even though they got a kill, the kill led to 2.5 to 3 turrets, including an inhibitor turret up top. So that's kind of worth it if you're Sengoku here. Unfortunately for Liyab.
Indeed. So, nice AssassinDave is giving me information that I said pulverize for the ultimate of MF when it's bullet time, which, you know what? It was bullet time indeed earlier. So, you know what? Fair enough. I am fixing that on the go. All good, all good. Thank you very much. I said it. There's going to be some oopsies today. You know what? But I respect that. Is okay. It was bound to happen in the first place.
I thought you were talking about Brahm's ult. I was like, wait, whose ult were we talking about?
You know what? I got confused myself. But you know what? What is not getting confused is that we got a fight happening also in the Drake lane. They're going to go for the push so far. Nice ultimate potentially from the Brawl, picks up the nice CC for the squad. But unfortunately, they're on the Garen. Is tank it up, and the wild growth comes on through also. He will be able to soak it up, but once again, the zoning is absolutely top tier. They will potentially pick up one frag as the fight keeps on going. Lee Sin does dive a little bit deeper at the end of the day. That's going to be one kill, and also comes on through, but unfortunately, no, my friend. That is going to be the Lee Sin back on his feet away from that one as he just gets knocked for a few seconds, and that's going to be 2 frags coming their way. They lose the Vi, they lose the Garen, they got no more frontline potential. This is it. Liyab just can't contest this Baron once again, and they're just going to go and take it instantly.
Yeah, just a terrible spot to actually take this fight. They take it over in this top lane, at least from the perspective here of Sengoku, and that means there's nowhere to run. And if you're the team behind in gold, you need a place to run to. And they're like, wait a second, there's no turret here. Oh no! That means a 2 go down after the GA gets popped there from the Garen, and he jumps onto the Lee Sin. They get the reverse GA pops, but it was a little bit too little, too late, and Baron gets taken. It's funny because it's only 7 kills to 1. It's not like they've been just destroyed.
A little bit technical issues here, but don't worry, we're reconnecting.
They saw at one point that there was a Garen display where they took a Baron. They saw that they were out of position in the Drake lane. They used that way to engage a fight and get great Brawl ultimate to initiate and then end up the fight in a really, really big lead with 2 kills coming their way. Here is just Liyab falling behind and Sengoku playing the information war. Every single time they get that data, they're going to use it so damn well. But now they're going to be pushing onto that base turret, trying to crack it down. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty hard for them to do so. As the Kai'Sa's going to be trying their best to soak it up. The damage, she's down to mid HP, might get melted down in a few seconds, which is indeed what I think is about to happen. And she does get absolutely melted to the ground. As Liyab are taken down one by one. Orianna still in a strong position, but unfortunately her ultimate is now off cooldown, and she will not be able to defend that turret whatsoever. This might just be us going into game number 3, 1-1 between these two teams. It's damn close, but at the end of the day, Liyab are falling behind.
Yeah, we're switching over to the Sengoku perspective here, which is Brawl, which is convenient because he's dead, so we get to actually look at the action here. 3 dead here for Liyab and only 1 for Sengoku. It's kind of funny because that last fight near the inhibitor turret there for Liyab, you saw that the Kai'Sa was actually out of position the entire time while the team was fighting, and it seemed like there's a lot of damage going on to the members of Sengoku, but Kai'Sa wasn't there to finish them off, and that's pretty much proved the difference there.
Raw is looking good, but they're going to be taking that fight for the Drake is going to get picked up too, and Liyab, they're trying their best to fight for position. They just can't do it. Fight just like, hey, get away from me. What's happening? But he's going to get obliterated once again. And now this is the base just open. It's cracked open for the past minute or two now, and they should be able to close off that fight in really big ways. Mid lane is going to be heavily pressured up, and they're going to make their way into the fight to close off the game. They pick up 1, they pick up a second kill. Are they looking for a third? Of course they are. We are talking about Sengoku Gaming here, and that is going to be all set and done. GG well play. We shall indeed go into game number 3 as game 2 goes the way of Sengoku Gaming.
Wow.
So well played. It's exactly what we've kind of expected from them. Obviously, their experimental choices round 1 didn't help them quite so much, but game 2, this is the Sengoku we know and love. Just picture perfect, right? Just chef's kiss, completely just comprehensive game. And Liyab, they're gonna have to take some chances, I think, in order to win game number 3.